Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon White 2. I'm your Smogon Gamer. In the last episode, we made our way to Isra City after finishing off Swiss Mountain, and today we're going to be doing a little bit more of the same of last episode. We're going to finish off basically the rest of Isra City, which is basically just this area. We're going to cover the gym on the way out, of course, because we have to go to Dragon Spiral Tower today and do something important there. So basically a huge majority of this episode is going to be taken up by these three, who happen to be the Shadow Triad for anyone who doesn't remember them from Pokemon Black or White, if you decided to play your own game at some point or whatever and, you know, remember them from there. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, they're here, they want to battle you, etc. I mean, there's a lot of Bisharp here, a lot of Dark types. There's also a few problematic things here that kind of mess with the three Pokemon that are at the front of my party, but I mean, whatever. So, yeah, before we get any further into this, I guess we can kind of cover something really quick. For those of us here in North America, the Dynasty distribution is set to end on Sunday this weekend. And for anyone who didn't already know, it obviously gives you a special Diancie, which cannot be found in normal gameplay and can be traded over to OmegaRuby and AlphaSapphire to get its Mega Stone. This event is a serial code event and requires going to a store in order to receive the code, which is then redeemed in Mystery Gift. If you are in the United States, you can get this code in GameStop. If you are in Canada, you can get it from participating EB Game stores. If you are in Mexico, it can be received from Game Planet. I guess is what they have down there. I guess I never knew that. So yeah, if you want to get Diancie, and you didn't happen to win one from my prior contest, then you kind of have to make sure you go to EB Games if you live in Canada, GameStop if you're here in the United States, or Game Planet if you live in Mexico. And you have literally only a few days left to get it. So, kind of recommend you do that ASAP, because Mega Diancie is a really cool Pokemon. Just saying. And I really like how triple battles and rotation battles lag the hell out of my emulator. But, whatever, can't really do anything about that. So, yeah, the Excelgor kind of threw me off here, and I had to switch out two Pokemon because of it. Not to mention that Espeon fears for its life for the Dark types that happen to be on the field at the moment, so, or in play, or whatever you want to go by. So, yeah, I mean, those are all things, I suppose. And at least we do a decent amount of damage to the Excelgor. I mean, Excelgor is not really all that great, but, I mean, also, they double up on the Espeon slot. I don't know why they viewed Espeon as the bigger threat. But, sure. I mean, why not? I mean, Lilligant has 120 base power move, decent special attack, hell, even decent speed. So, I mean, not to mention lower defenses, I would assume. I don't really remember off the top of my head what their base stats are, you know, compared side by side. But, I mean, whatever. Their choice, I suppose. Hooray, Lilligant gets a level. So, yeah, their last trainer has a Bayonet and two Bisharp, so they're kind of just paired up with double Bisharps. But, yeah. All I know is I can't wait to get my next Let's Play started. I just want to get off of the emulator thing. I don't know, if this doesn't help prove why I don't want to be a part of the emulator thing anymore, I don't know what really does. And obviously, as you can tell, another battle. The first one was 3v3 basically, this one, or the second one was a triple battle, and then this one is, if you couldn't already tell, a rotation battle. And like I said, he leads with Bayonet and has two Bisharp as well. So his ace is obviously the Bayonet. Not that anyone gives a crap about their aces, because, I mean, let's be real, it's the Shadow Triad for, you know, what it's worth. I mean, I don't know about everyone else, but I don't know. I guess I should also mention that one of our team members will be being replaced today. That team member being Skarmory. Pretty sure everyone can tell what we're going to be replacing it with. But I guess for anyone who's never played this game before, I guess we won't spoil it, even though I'm pretty sure we already did in the past few episodes anyways. But I mean, for anyone who's just now watching, I mean, I guess it'll be somewhat of a surprise, assuming they've never played the game before. There's a lot of things that have to factor in there, and a lot of those things tend to not line up whenever people actually enjoy watching Pokemon and whatnot, but I don't know. Anyways, now that all three of them are gone, we can take this free PP up that's just laying here. And obviously in that direction, which I think that everyone's well aware of is there, leads to like the more Viscerous and whatnot. And we'll be covering that in the next episode too, on our way back to OP Lucid, so that way we can finish off that entire route that we couldn't do, and then from there we will be probably heading back to the Giant Chasm to take care of Kyurem, because priorities basically. And we need to heal because for what we're going to be catching, the strategy requires both Espeon and Electros. Obviously Electros has helped us in the past catching very high level Pokemon with Thunder Wave, and Espeon's needed because its damage output is just what we need to catch this. So yeah. And as you can see, Cedric Juniper is here doing his own thing and mentions that, oh hey, yeah, you have the Light Stone, well maybe I can give you this little kind of healing item or whatever, maybe it'll help you, maybe not, you know, whatever, have fun getting your ass whipped by a legendary. I don't know, but yeah, before we go in, there is, I believe, a PP Max, maybe? I can't remember what this is. All I know is there's just like a random item chilling over here, so I mean, oh, it's a Carbos. I'm thinking inside the tower, but yeah, no trainers in this version of the game, so I mean it's kind of cool. And then there's just an item to get, so less stuff to do while we're on our way doing this. So Dragon Spiral Tower, there are no trainers. There are obviously Pokemon in here, but with the rappel up we can kind of get through this place as fast as possible. If you'd like to get up there even faster, bring something with strength. Of course, the only thing that I have with strength right now basically is Ambidexter, and he's not going to be useful for this fight at all. And should I have a lot of like trouble in this fight, I really would like to be able to rely on high level Pokemon. So I mean, bringing strength just for that, it's kind of like the lazy way, not to mention there were a few items on the way by taking the long way. So I mean, that's just me. I do try to move through this place a little bit fast though, just because time. Obviously, you know, we're at 7 minutes. Usually a legendary catch takes a good few minutes, and I don't, you know, there's a lot that we can still go through. There's still, I think, 2 more floors to go through. And then from there we kind of have to deal with the battle itself and the capture, stuff like that. The good news is this Pokemon has a very high catch rate, and it's not like a lot of the other legendaries in the game. So, I mean, at least that's the thing. Now, one thing that I have to kind of mention, I feel like I need to mention this because this is kind of bugging me. What the hell are the Lustrous Orb, the Adamant Orb, and the Grizzlius Orb all doing here? Giratina, Palkia, and Dialga are not a part of the main part of this game. I don't understand why these items are here. I don't even know if there was an event that was going on around the time that Black and White 2 came out. There might have been. I think it was like a shiny event. I don't really remember. But if I remember correctly, they all came with their respective held items too. So I can't help but wonder why. I mean, I just feel like, I don't know. It just seems weird. Also, I just now realized I didn't have to do the jumping thing. But whatever, I guess. I mean, I could have just kept going over and it would have been right there. Silly me. There's the PP Max that I mentioned earlier as well. So, yeah. I really wish I could have gotten this recorded a lot sooner now that I think about it. It's kind of like 5 o'clock actually while I'm recording this. I obviously changed the in-game time to past 8 o'clock just so that way we can get the full capability out of a Dust Ball, because at night the Dust Ball is better. Outside of that, it's basically just, you know, Ultra Balls that are the best Pokeball to use unless you plan on using the Master Ball. Which kind of also brings up another thing. I don't know what I'm using my Master Balls on. I might use them on some of the legendaries to help speed up the end of this Let's Play. I know that a lot of people would probably not exactly like that, but I mean, I have reasons for it. So I don't know, we'll see. There's a couple low-level things that I would also be kind of afraid to try and catch through damage rolls, of course. And yeah. So yeah. The Lightstone is trembling, so we will be taking this thing out of our bag. And we'll be welcoming back an old friend. course, we can't exactly say that we've welcomed him back yet. We still have to capture him. So, let's pray that this works out well. And with this, we begin our battle with our last team member. It's kind of hilarious that we have to catch it way late into the post-game. But, yes, our last intended actual team member happens to be Reshiram, sort of. And you'll understand what I mean by sort of when we get around to it, of course. But, yeah, so as you can see, Psychic does a little bit around, or a little over, a little under half. So as a result, being able to use Psybeam, which is a lower base power move, is more than enough to bring it down into the red. The only things that you have to worry about in regards to risks with this, assuming you're doing the exact same thing as me, Psychic has a chance of a special defense drop, while Psybeam has that chance of confusion. So if you happen to still get it into the red with confusion, it might be able to kill itself. Or if you get the Spectre drop, you can kill Reshiram with the Psybeam, and that's obviously no bueno. So yeah, but since we didn't get either of those, then that's really good. So we're going to set up the Thunder Wave, that way it's in the red, it's got a status affliction, so it's time to start throwing dust balls. And if I remember correctly, we catch it in a single shot. Yeah, we did. Like I said, this thing has a high catch rate. I don't remember what Kyurem's catch rate is. I think it might actually be lower. If it is, then I might actually be Master Balling one of that. I don't know. Because I don't know exactly how I can deal with it with my team. But I don't know. Anyways, after you catch it, N tends to show up and kind of congratulates you on being the new hero, quote unquote. He kind of asks you to try and unify Pokemon and humans. Make it a world that, you don't have to use Pokeballs or, things like that. Like he says, maybe someday they won't be bound by Pokeballs or something. In a way, I don't see a problem with the Pokeballs actually being like a thing. And the reason why I say that is because it allows for easier transportation of the Pokemon themselves. I mean, yeah, sure, some of them can fly or whatever, but some of them are tiny as hell. I mean, okay, how do you expect a Magikarp to literally like coexist with you outside of like having it in a tank or something? That just seems completely unfair. And then, I mean, what are you going to do if it just happens to evolve? Like, really? I don't know. Just seems like something to me. Also, we didn't get a very good ability, or not ability, but nature on this, so I will be getting a better nature off screen, of course. However, obviously this will be a member of our team, so that means we have to place it in our party. So long, farewell, Skarmory. You were good while we had you. You actually did put in a lot of work, especially I think during the Elite Four. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But I believe it did do some very significant work during the Elite Four, so it was very appreciated. It was very nice to have it along. But now we have a new flyer, now we have a more powerful Pokemon to use, and I can't be any happier, honestly. I mean, I love Skarmory to death, but Reshiram in Generation 5 has got to be one of my favorite legendaries. I don't know what it is about it, but I do love Reshiram's battle cry. And its spray in general is actually pretty cool. I mean, the ears are kind of a little bit weird to me, but I don't know. Anyways, in the next episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be checking out the little gym. We're going to be going through the more Viscera and hopefully getting started on Kyurem. And yeah, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And until next time, this is the PokeGamer signing out.